Tommy V in Michigan. He was on fire this morning.
Okay, thank you, Tommy V in Michigan. Yes, sir. If you share my prayers.
Tommy V's on. Yeah, we'll jump over there.
Tommy V doing great stuff over there.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. To your far right with the completely black shirt on, your name?
Henry Bascome.
Thank you, Mr. Bascome. And gentleman to his left?
Pace.
Thank you. It's case number 822-471-078-001. People State of Michigan versus Emery Lloyd Bascome, identifies defendant 1, also known as Emery Bascome. Khalif Keith Pace identifies defendant 2. Appearance, Mr. Reagan.
Mr. Reagan, on behalf of Mr. Bascome and Mr. Pace, waive the formal reading. Stand mute as to both gentlemen, Your Honor. They've both been advised of it.
Or waive formal reading under plea of not guilty. Both of you are having the same court dates and times. I'm scheduling a probable cause conference June 4th, 2024 at 9 a.m. 25th District Court, Lincoln Park. You both have a right to a preliminary examination June 11th, 2024, 9 a.m. 25th District Court, Lincoln Park. Understood, Mr. Bascome?
Yes.
Understood, Mr. Pace?
Yes, sir.
Not guilty, please enter it on your behalf as the bond.
Judge Esteban, Mr. Bascome, Judge 37, as the court can see, does have some prior contacts. Nothing pending as at the current moment. It's my understanding Mr. Bascome owned this home, Judge, and he allowed the complaining witness, Mr. Chris Thompson, to come and stay in the basement or rent the basement out. At that point, Judge, it's my understanding that Mr. Thompson invited Mr. Pace over to come and stay at the residence. Judge, there was some type of altercation. Mr. Bascome tells me that, he was trying to break up an altercation, wasn't trying to start anything, was simply trying to break up an altercation that was going on. Mr. Bascome has lived there, Judge. It's his house. He has 2 daughters as well, Judge, that he does take care of. I am requesting a personal bond on his behalf. I'm also requesting a personal bond on Mr. Pace's behalf, Judge. Like I said, he and Mr. Thompson, Judge, were friends. He came to stay with Mr. Thompson in the basement. I don't believe there's a relationship between Mr. Bascome and Mr. Pace. I don't think there's any relationship. They know each other through the complaining witness. My client, Mr. Pace, works at Sweetwater's, Judge. He does take medication, Judge, that is very, very serious medication that he hasn't had in a couple days, which could, is imperative to his.
Please mark his file medical detective for the reasons stated by counsel. Thank you. Keep going, counsel.
Thank you, Judge, and for his ability to live, Judge. He's not on probation, parole. Was living at the location. Now, the one thing I wanted to ask the court about, Judge, which is important. It's my understanding Chris Thompson is no longer there. That's my understanding. Now, I do know that Mr. Bascome lives there. It was his house, it's his daughters. I know there's going to be a no contact provision. That's a given based on the charges. So I'm asking Judge definitely for the no contact provision, but I'm asking if Mr. Thompson is no longer at the residence to allow Mr. Bascome to go back to his home where he has his daughter, where he lives upstairs, where he raises his family. So that would be my request. But again, Judge, I would request personal for both gentlemen.
Thank you. Detective, are there any prior convictions or any information on this matter or pending cases you want to let the court know that it's not in the report or otherwise?
No, there's no additional information. As far as I know, the victim is going back to that address and know he's got personal property there. Last I spoke to him, he was at the hospital receiving medical for his injury.
Thank you, Detective. Okay, Mr. Bascome and Mr. Pace, these are extremely serious and assaultive allegations, and I have concerns for a number of reasons. There's allegations in the investigator's report regarding significant injuries and allegations that both of you attempted to assault this individual in a number of ways, including but not limited to sexual assault, allegedly with a beer bottle, assault with a baseball bat. There's allegations of him fearing for his life, attempting to escape from the basement and running for help. Allegations that you both told him that he was not leaving a location, you were going to bury him in the backyard. So we have threats on his life. We have serious allegations of a numerous assault over a period of time. The officers observed injuries and as stated of court, and there's blood stains, allegations of weapons being found after a search warrant, and threats on his life, and as indicated, serious injuries. As stated by the detective, he's possibly still in the hospital receiving treatment for these allegations. These are charged as felonies, a number of them, counts 1 through 3, which is concerning. You each have prior criminal history, which I've taken into consideration in nature as well as the date of those convictions. Any employment status presented by counsel as relates to ability to post bond, as well as your ties to the community of Lincoln Parks, also taken into consideration. The court does find by clear and convincing evidence that you are a danger to the complaining witness for a number of reasons. We have a number of allegations of assault. I find a likelihood of conviction. We have serious injuries. We have threats on the individual's life, and I find a personal or nominal bond will not adequately protect the complaining witness's safety. The court finds by clear and convincing evidence that both of you are a danger to the complaining witness, if not the public at large. For those reasons, the court setting an intentional unaffordable bond for both of you in the amount of $50,000 cash with the following conditions. Then these conditions apply to both of you. During this bond, there's no use of any drugs, no alcohol, absolutely no weapons, no contact whatsoever with Christopher Deshaun Thompson, and that's no contact of any kind, orally in writing, through a third party at his place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. You're not to go, either of you, to go anywhere near the area or premises of 530 Mayflower in Lincoln Park. And if you're able to post bond prior to being released, both of you will be fit with a curfew, and that will place you under a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. During those hours, you're not to leave your home for any reason, and absolutely not to go anywhere near the Mayflower address or Mr. Thompson. And as stated, if you're able to make bond, you will be fit with the GPS tether prior to being released, which will monitor your location. If you go anywhere near the Mayflower address or the complaining witness, you're subject to be picked up without a warrant and have your bond conditions forfeited and or revoked. Do you have any questions on your court date or bond conditions, Mr. Bascome?
Yes, you're telling me this isn't personal and that I can't go back home to the place I raised my kids at because he still has his belongings in there?
No, because he resides there, and so that's his residence at this point in time.
He ain't even been there a week.
It's his residence, sir. I've made my ruling. It's his residence. And the fact that you allegedly assaulted him to a point that he's in the hospital, does that not negate the fact that that's his residence?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I was assaulted as well in the altercation. His allegations are false.
Okay, they're allegations, sir, but I'm answering your question. I put my concerns on the record. They're allegations. You're absolutely right. You'll have your day in court. I place my concerns on the record, and that's the reason for my bond ruling. And to answer your question, I believe it's a yes. You are not to go back to that location till told otherwise by a judge. And yes, you will not receive a personal bond. Any other questions, Mr. Bascome? Mr. Pace, any questions regarding court dates or bond conditions?
Yes, I need to go back to that address because my identification, my wallet with my money, all of my personal things are there. We've only been there less than a week. We've only been there, but all of my things are at that house.
You can have a third party, a friend or a family member, go retrieve your belongings, but you're not to go anywhere near that location or Mr. Thompson. And as stated, you're going to be fit with the tether if you're able to make bond. So if you go anywhere near that location, that's a violation of this court's bond, likely to get you locked up. Understood?
Yes, I understand.
I take my daughter to school, every morning, Monday through Thursday, in Lincoln Park, right around the corner from that address. Is there any possible way we can reconstruct this?
No.
He can get his stuff out of my house. I have my mom come there.
I'm not evicting the victim from his residence because it's convenient for you, sir.
he
Well, he
not
lives
his-
there, so that's his residence. That's
it's
not what I had.
His name is not on there. Mine is. And my
That doesn't mean it's not his residence. If he resides there, it's his residence. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you, sir. I made my ruling. You will see another judge.
A strong matter of mine. The personal bond is a strong matter of mine because I'm already getting my kids back and forth to school. I can do that from another location. That's no problem. I can also, like I said, I'm in a friend of a court. I have to get my daughter back and forth on the weekends to her mother during the parenting time. Like the personal bond is very, very important to me, sir.
There's not a chance you're getting there's not a chance you're getting a personal bond with these allegations with me. I can tell you that. I'll put my ruling on the record. You've alleged to have assaulted this individual sexually with a beer bottle, threatened to take his life, assaulted him in a number of reasons where, according to the detective, he's still in the hospital recovering from these allegations. So there is zero chance today in front of me you're getting a personal bond.
So Judge, now you've made your ruling. Thank the court. Thank you, Judge. And we can I think move on from this case, Your Honor. So much.
Okay. Detective, anything further?
Sir.
Can I get a phone call?
And then, okay, any other questions just on court dates or bond conditions? No? Okay. All right, detective, have a good day, sir.
Thank you, you too.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. Good more afternoon, Mr. Strickland, your full name again?
Devontae Deshaun Strickland.
Thank you. And this is case 8224710825001. People State of Michigan versus Devontae Deshaun Strickland. Parents.
Your Honor, Reagan, on behalf of Mr. Strickland, waive the formal reading stamp duty, has been advised of his rights.
For waive formal reading under plea of not guilty, Mr. Strickland, the court scheduling a pretrial date on June 6, 2024 at 9 a.m., 18th District Court in Westland. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Reagan Esteban, waive formal reading under not guilty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Judge, as to bond, my client's 30 with no prior criminal history, Judge, to my knowledge. He works for Pimke, does logistics. He works from home, Judge. He's also a veteran of the United States military. He receives disability, Judge, at that house. Part of his disability benefits go to that house, Judge, or have him at that house receiving it, Your Honor. The complainant, he were, I guess, in a relationship only about 3 months, Judge, 3 months. He's been there 5 years. Obviously, they're not going to be together, no contact. It's my understanding she has gotten her stuff and is no longer there, Judge. She doesn't have the key to the place. He had the key. I'm asking the court for a personal bond. Obviously, it's no contact, but I'm asking the court to allow him to go back to the residence, Judge, because that's where the veterans have his benefits to, and that's where he is and works from every day.
I just want to know, it looks to according to investigators report, they've been dating for 6 months. I just want to know about, you're saying that she doesn't reside there and that's just not the information I have.
Well, Judge, yeah, when I say she doesn't, I shouldn't say she doesn't reside. She doesn't have a key. She's been there for 3 months. It's my understanding 3 months. So that's definitely, tenant rights. And I explained to him he would have to get a 30-day notice if she has not left. It's my understanding she was going to get her stuff and leave. So I don't know what the status of that is, Judge, at all. But I just wanted to, point that out. As I told Mr. Strickland, part of the condition was going to be no contact, obviously. And he explained to me that the veterans have his benefits there, disability to that home. That's part of everything when he gets there. So I just explained that to him, and I just wanted to, explain it to the court what the situation was as well.
Thank you, Mr. Reagan. Appreciate you. Mr. Strickland, your counsel's advocated well on your behalf. I'm also unaware of any criminal convictions or capious history. You have apparent ties to the Westlands community. Thank you for your service, Mr. Strickland, to our country. It's appreciated.
Thank you.
I've also reviewed the investigator's report. This is allegations of, looks like you got alleged to have gotten mad and threw her into a wall. And no injuries were observed. And apparently rescue was declined. Allegations of back pain. And no injuries existed to photograph according to the investigator's report. It looks like there could possibly been an incident regarding alcohol. Given your lack of criminal history or capious history and the nature of this charge, which is a misdemeanor, The court is going to set bond in the amount of a $10,000 personal bond. During this bond, Mr. Strickland, there's no use of any drugs or no use of any alcohol. You're to have no contact with the complaining witness, Carolyn Gardner. That's no contact of any kind, orally in writing through a third party at her place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. And at this point, sir, that includes the address in Westland, not to go back there till told otherwise by a judge, and no contact with Miss Garner. You're going to be released on a personal bond, Mr. Strickland. Put your hand, I'll give you a chance, with no monitorization, but you're not to go back to that location or have any contact with the complaining witness. No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. Is that all understood?
Yes.
Okay, see, you had your hand raised. I would ask that you ask only questions regarding court date or bond conditions, sir.
Okay.
If you have any.
My car, my assets, I don't have anything but the clothes that I have right now. My wallet, everything's there. I just,
You can have a friend, I'm sorry to cut you off. Maybe this answers your question, but if not, you can continue. You can have a friend or family member go to the location to retrieve your belongings, but you're not to have them relay any information to Ms. Garner. Is that, and no weapons, but you can have a friend or family member go retrieve your belongings. But at this point, I don't want you to go until told otherwise by a judge. Any other questions,
No.
Mr. Brassfield? Or Mr. Strickland, I apologize.
no questions.
Mr. Reagan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Good luck, Mr. Strickland.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You're welcome.